Hello, how is everybody? Welcome again to our vlog. This is Lynn from give.asia. Today vlog, let's talk about donor retention for fundraisers and non-profit organizations. So, what is donor retention? Let's find out in the next section. If you are a fundraiser or nonprofit development professional, you've likely heard the term donor retention. It's one of the hottest topics of discussion in the nonprofit sector. But what is donor retention and why is that important for your organization? Quite simply, donor retention is a measure of how many donors continue to donate to your organization, and nonprofits with a high donor retention rate have longer supporters to come back year after year. Nonprofits with a low donor retention rate need to continually acquire new donors or larger gifts to keep up. Fun fact, unfortunately, nonprofits are still struggling to keep donor retention high, and there's only 45.5% of donors give the following year, again in a statistic shown in 2018. And the average donor retention rate for the first year offline only donors is at 29%. So the next question for us is why donor retention is important. First, the donor retention rates reflect and predict the stability of nonprofit revenue. It also represents donor loyalty with the organization. It is cost effective for long-term growth and is maximized word-of-mouth marketing, peer-to-peer fundraising. Now, as we already understand the background of donor retention, let's find out some key reasons why donors stop giving to your organization. So this way we can improve our donor retention rate. The three common reasons for failure donations are first, it's the nonprofits that did not acknowledge their previous contributions. So usually the first donation can easily lead to the following. However, a forgotten or cliche thank you note can discourage your donors from staying with your organization. Reason number two is donors are not asked to donate again. The very interesting fact is most of the time people donate because they were asked to. So people can easily forget your organization if you don't keep them updated or don't ask them to. And frequent updates on the goal achieving process or a friendly reminder of them making the next donation are useful. Reason number three is the lack of communication from nonprofit and showing them how that help can enhance their trust in your organization. And donors are thrilled to see if they make any changes, they make any positive impacts with their gift, and create your unique heart-touching message for their organization. Let's move to the part where I'm gonna share with you the 3 steps to master donor retention. How do we do it? Step number 1, you need to gather data about your donors. Donor retention rate is the rate of donors who give to your organization again after their first giving. And knowing this rate can help you determine how well your fundraising efforts is going. This donor retention rate is a primary indicator of your fundraising efficacy, and it is really vital to get your calculation right. Now, depending on each donor segmentation, you can calculate this rate based on the formula. Donor retention rate is equal number of returning donors of that current year divided by the number of previous year donors multiplied by 100. And there are different types of donors as well, so not all donors are the same and they require different approaches to leverage their experience with you. So some typical segments for your donor is the first time donors, or they're repeat donors, they're major donors, or they're kind of lapsed donors. Now, as we already understand how to calculate the rate, and you understand what type of segment your donors are, you have to pick the preferences for communication of your donors. So donors retention is all about effective communication. So it is crucial to keep their preferred contacting method in mind. You can ask your donors what the communication approach by sending them surveys through email or just pick up the phone and ask them. Alternatively, you can go with demographics donor segmentations, and different age groups can prefer a different type of interaction as well. For millennials, donors nowadays, they like to keep up with your organization on different type of social media channels like Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. So in the second steps, your organization need to cultivate your retention strategies. So I'm gonna suggest a couple of strategies that you can actually use to implement for all your donors. So strategy number one called show an authentic attitude. So genuine appreciation from your organization goes a long way in building good donor retentions, and some donors would be very happy with a simple text message. Others are thrilled with formal thank you note. Either way, you choose and just surprise them. 12 touches per year are recommended when engaging donors. Strategy number two here is building a memorable branding. So good branding can build trust in your audience and let you stand out from other organizations aiming for the same donors as yours. And your branding includes your name, your design choices, your mission statement, and how you communicate your purposes. The goal of branding is to build a unique, memorable, and likable in your audience's mind. Strategy number three, you can choose to offering membership privilege. So donors give towards good causes, but they would appreciate gratitude from your organization in the form of benefits. Who doesn't like some benefits, or who doesn't like some freebie, right? So some nonprofits provide their donors with a tier benefit system based on the donation amount, and some incentives to consider, such as branded merchandise, discount tickets to event, food vouchers, recognition on website and newsletter. Strategy number four, surveying your donors. So the survey helps you to learn how good you are with current retention strategies and how to improve it based on your donor preference. Ask your donors questions that can provide you actionable data. Try to avoid yes or no problem and give them some space to tell their thoughts. Strategy number five, demonstrate your impact. So after a fundraising effort, 95.8% of donors want to know how much total was raised. 44.5% want to see how the fundraise will be used. Just trying to update your donors on how their contribution is being used for good causes. Strategy number six, make it simple to give. Enable your donors to pick the channel via which they want to donate. At every channel, make it consistent and simple to follow. It's time for you to think about omnichannel. The last steps for your organization is you need to periodically review your recognition program. So re-evaluate your plan as often as your organizational needs change, or at least once a year. Collect feedback from your donors, staff, volunteers for better communication plan. Now, fun part. I'm gonna give you 4 tips for a successful donor retention plan. So, tips number 1, you make sure that you make the communication personalized. So, donor expect the usual sub-receipt, and when you add a personalized touch to your follow-up messages to make your donors feel appreciated, a handwritten note from staff, for instance, can make supporter feel instantly connected to the people behind your organization, connected to your cause, and try starting with their name instead of dear supporter. Tips number 2, surprise and delight them. Stay away from a typical fundraising letter asking mail or a story about someone in need. You can find playful ways to surprise your donor and foster positive emotional connection with your organization. You can try a humor mail, joyful video, for example. Tips number 3, let donors touch and feel. So donors need to interact physically with your organization. So by giving your donors sensory experiences like volunteer opportunities, tour of your facility, and small group meeting with your staff and other donors, you are cementing the relationships you have with your supporters. And the very last tip is keep it mission focused. So donors get tired of hearing transactional details, but they rarely tired of hearing about your talk. And they wouldn't care for how many tickets they can get to your annual party with $1,000 donation. They care more about how many children will be saved by their $1,000 donation. So donors tend to Now, I hope you really enjoyed the material of today. I think it's really helpful for all organizations to start looking after their donor retention rate. And you know what? Donors tend to increase their gifts over time, and loyal donors can do a lot of good that goes beyond their much needed monetary contribution. Donors are your friends, and if you treat them well, they will treat you well in return and for a long time to come. Happy fundraising! And I'll see you guys in the next sharing. Bye!